Well, I'll be editing this one, right?
I guess so.
If it's one of mine, yeah. Because I was just thinking, oh, we're in your house, you're going to do the intro, but I'm doing the wiki this
Yeah,
weekend.
you're the one hosting, but we are both at my house today. And we're recording ourselves on here, but I've got to remember the camera's over here.
Yes.
But yeah, Karl has come to visit so we can record in person, but Karl is hosting.
We've also got to do... Wait a minute. There we go.
And I'm still in the taller chair with like a booster seat in.
That's great. It's no good. But nearby Lucas, are you ready to learn about one of your favourite characters, I feel, of the Black Cat from Spider-Man?
See, that's the thing is, like, I really enjoy the character. You know, I know her somewhat well from the 90s Spider-Man and then the Spider-Man 2018 game from Insomniac.
Yep.
Got a job that didn't involve breaking or entering. Even started wearing sweatpants on weekends.
I wondered where you went.
I think she's mainly one of my favourite in terms of, like, design,
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Like, she's just the quintessential cat burglar.
Yeah.
Like, hence the name, Black
Literally,
Cat.
yeah.
But would you like to learn more about Felicia Hardy, a.k.a. the Black Cat?
A.k.a. the daughter of, like, the greatest burglar of all time or some shit.
Even though she's probably stolen, like, Infinity Stones or some shit, so let's find out. So, as always, the links to the wiki we're reading from can be found below. We'll start, as we often do at the beginning, which is just simply the biographical information about one Miss Felicia Sarah Hardy.
And Karl's reading off his phone because, like, as normal, one person's reading the wiki and we try to, like, surprise the other person with information.
So let's see what we can find in here that you might not know. So we have here, current alias, the Black Cat.
Of course.
What aliases? Cat.
It's a bit shit.
Bitch. It's just the cat. Fifi, kitten, kitty, kitty cat, leash. I feel like Nisha should be here, like with some of the nicknames that she gets. Leisha, Miss Kyle. Oh, there we go. Party Hardy.
Oh, okay.
That one's pretty good. Party Hardy. So I don't think anyone parties harder than Black Cat in that universe. And then we have impersonations. The Silver Sable. I can see that 'cause they both have the white hair, don't they?
And I just find it really weird that, like, you say Kitty because obviously in Marvel, when someone says the name Kitty, I think Kitty Pryde.
Kitty Pryde, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a bit of a weird alias to have.
Who's super, like, weird and broken OP. But we have here affiliation and relationships. Her affiliation is Thieves Guild, partner of Spider-Man. And
Brotherhood.
And am I right in thinking that in the Spider-Man DLC, like, one of the key plot points is that Black Cat says she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker's like, oh no, I got Black Cat pregnant.
You know that she and I dated for a while.
Yeah, so? Oh.
But that does suggest that Peter Parker was hitting that shit raw.
Oh yeah, 100%. But it also means that Peter Parker is like a dumbass because the woman who continuously lies to him and disappears says like, "Oh, I'm pregnant," and before fact checking anything, he goes to MJ like, "I got someone else pregnant." Is that why?
But that does mean though that Peter Parker was hitting that shit raw, and for that I respect him.
I respect it.
Oh. Hey, Spider.
Felicia, the Magi are no joke. You shouldn't be playing with them.
Oh, but I like to play.
So relatives: Walter Hardy, father deceased; Lydia Hardy, a mother. And she has like niece and a former symbiote because everyone in Spider-Man's Rogues Gallery had a symbiote.
Yeah, at some point this stops being surprising, doesn't it?
And then marital status. Oh, speaking of unsurprising, single. You can't tie a woman like that down. And then physical characteristics. This one is surprising. Height, 5'10".
Oh, wow.
That's
okay,
very tall for a woman, and she walks around in high heels all the time. And then weight, 120 pounds.
So she's probably walking at like a solid 6 foot.
Yeah.
And Peter Parker's like, yes.
And Peter Parker's shorter than she is.
Well, that's the thing. If you're thinking like in my head, you know, the new Tom Holland, the current Tom Holland, and like he's like about my height, about 5'7", 5'8" or something, and he's like looking at this 6 foot Black Cat, like, yeah,
I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit that raw.
Like with Zendaya, so I don't doubt him.
And then we've never really had though a live action Black Cat, have we?
Not live action, no.
Mr. Parker?
Yeah.
Hi. I work with Harry. Nice to meet you.
Hey, nice to meet you.
No, we always had like a cartoon. It's like, and I guess that might just be because the kind of like the archetype has kind of been ruined by is it Anne Hathaway? Who
the Catwoman.
Who was
Anne
Catwoman
Hathaway.
in Batman?
Yeah.
And it's like, how could you have Michelle Pfeiffer the performance that
Let's not pretend that Anne Hathaway was the one that ruined Catwoman for us, though.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. Like she was coming, but that's the she was coming off the back of Michelle Pfeiffer's performance.
No,
which was like, no. Then there was Halle Berry's, which ruined it.
Halle Berry.
But then, like, she somehow was like, no, not as bad as Halle Berry's, but still pretty bad.
Like your girlfriend, Mr. Wayne.
He should be so lucky.
Pretty bad, but like, goddamn, like it's hard to capture the energy of Michelle Pfeiffer. Like,
never forget that Michelle Pfeiffer did that whip where she knocks off the 3 mannequin heads. Michelle Pfeiffer did that shit for real.
And didn't she do it like all in one take? And then the crew nearly ruined it by like cheering at the end.
She did it for real, and then the crew nearly ruined it for her. And then we have unusual features, sharp claws in her gloves. That's not an unusual feature, that's a weapon, and she dresses like a cat. How is that unusual? It's like, it'd be more unusual if it said she has no claws.
Yeah.
That'd be more unusual, right? And origin, she's a human mutate. And then identity, public.
She's a mutant.
Apparently so. And then her identity is publicly known. Citizenship, American. Occupation, adventurer, cat burglar, thief, PI, bounty hunter, founder of the Cat's Eye Investigations, former crime lord, current criminal.
I really want to see her and Jessica Jones being like a private investigation team together where like just you've got Black Cat scoping out the scene for like 3 days, and then just a drunk Jessica Jones just walks in, bashes the door through, and is like, I've got it.
Do you know one of the things I didn't realise when I was watching like just clips from a edit I was doing? Colby Minfie from The Boys is in Jessica Jones. She's like the neighbour who's constantly arguing with her boyfriend, and Jessica Jones gives her some shit.
Yes, because that's where I first knew her as like the punchable person.
Yeah, it's like she's got such an awful punchable face, but
it's just the energy she gives off in like obviously as an actor,
not as a person. Yeah.
Shut up.
Mind your own business.
Lush. Your business is my business when I have to listen to it.
Oh, like we had to listen to glass shattering from your place the other day.
But we have here a quote from the Black Cat. I'm not a hero, I'm a thief. Born a thief, raised a thief, will die a thief. It's like, then her job is cat burglar.
But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, like, her dad is literally like a world-renowned cat burglar. She was raised a cat burglar.
So let's find out. So, early life. Felicia Hardy's father, Walter Hardy, was a world-renowned cat burglar who, before his arrest, encouraged her to never settle for second best. That's why she was like, in Spider-Man Hit It Raw.
But can you get much better than Spider-Man?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, she's got high fucking
She's not settling for second best. And it says, during her freshman year in college, she'd gone to a party and was nearly raped by a drunken student.
Oh, shit.
Why is it like every female character has got to have like this as their origin story? Oh, because men wrote her. Got it. So I was like, we forgot to say like created by a man. Marvin Keith. And don't worry though, because after nearly being raped once, Lucas, she was saved by a student named Ryan. She was saved by a man, of course. Felicia and Ryan became close friends, spending most of their time together, until one night Ryan demanded that it was time for their relationship to become physical. Felicia's protests were in vain. So after escaping being sexually assaulted once, she gets sexually assaulted by the guy who stopped her from being sexually assaulted.
I mean,
do you know what that is? That's character growth.
I get like the annoying part is like why do women have to have this as like their origin story? But also, I guess that is writing like pretty realistically, unfortunately.
The second bit, yeah, like the nice guy who's like, hey, I think you owe me one. That is unfortunately quite accurate. But then we have here, hating the idea of being a victim, she decided she would murder her rapist despite the consequences. She put aside her studies and went training in various fighting styles and acrobatics. After months of preparing, she set out for revenge, but before she could find him, Ryan was killed in a drunk driving accident.
I can't say I blame her, but that went dark fast.
It did.
The second time someone creeped on her, and like obviously I'm saying that in a, I'm trying to alleviate the situation a little bit, but like, yeah, she went straight to just like, I'm gonna murder this son of a bitch. Which,
no, fully understandable.
Yeah, I get it.
Murder's okay. Got it. Right. So, and then just it continues that she became a criminal after that. But I just thought, I didn't know that was her origin story, and just that's one of those things like, why is it that every female character we ever cover has got to have like some sexual assault in there? But like, why is it that like writers think that's a good way to establish a character?
Obviously, we probably know her from the same kind of media.
Yeah, like the cartoon, which obviously they never put that in the cartoon.
They make her like this strong, independent character for the most part, and like, you know, she's obviously playing off her own sexuality like a lot of characters do, but yeah, it's never been seen as like, I've not known about that victim role aspect of
double victim.
The
double victim. That's how you know it. That's how you know a backstory is super good, because they made her a double victim. But then we have a section on personality I'm kind of curious about. So I know I shouldn't feel guilty. I'm just doing this to protect our relationship. I'm doing the right thing. So why do I feel like it's so right? That's got to be Peter Parker, right? That's got to be when she was banging Peter Parker.
Like, that's the Peter Parker's cheating on MJ. Like, feel bad about this, but also Black Cat's really hot.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we have here, greedy, vengeful, and cynical, much of Felicia Hardy's life been shaped by loss and trauma, leaving her a jaded woman who looks out for herself at the expense of, well, her job is literally stealing other people's shit. Despite scoffing at the idea of being a superhero, she's frequently acted as a vigilante anti-hero, largely due to Spider-Man's influence.
Yeah, and like, again, from what I've seen of her, she's definitely in that anti-hero role a lot better than The Rock was in Black Adam.
Yeah, and a lot better than the Punisher who just shoots people.
Like, yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? Like, he gets labelled a hero and Black Cat doesn't.
But no, she steals from rich people, Lucas. So, encouraged by her father to always be the best, she has channeled her rage and humiliation at being raped. Into following her father's footsteps as a cat burglar. After adopting the persona of the Black Cat, she revelled in the freedom it gave her and all but completely discarded her civilian identity, being perplexed by Spider-Man's unwillingness to do so as well. And that is like a common thing. She's like, but you're so powerful. Why do you work in like an office, like listening to J. Jonah Jameson ream you out for not getting your photos in on time? You could just do whatever you want. You can take whatever you want. Who could stop you?
And I am interested, like, I guess people in the comments who know a bit more about the comic book side of things, like, let us know, are there runs where she actually convinces Spider-Man to join her side? Because like, it's got to be a convincing argument.
Well, there's that
of like, stop being poor as fuck and like worrying about rent all the time, Peter, just like, come and rob diamonds with me. And
it's like, you know what, getting all this all the time. Because have you ever seen there's that one like comic where like Felicia Hardy, she makes him a new cloth black costume. Joking, has the symbiote suit, and she thinks he looks really sexy. And when he starts wearing it, she's like, "Oh, I missed the black suit, so I made you a new one."
She made him the Night Monkey outfit.
So, hating feeling weak more than anything, she once bargained with the Kingpin to obtain superpowers, but after nearly being killed by Dr. Octopus, this cost her a relationship with Spider-Man. Yeah, like, don't team up with the guy who tried to bang his aunt. Never forget there was a Dr. Octopus arc where he marries Peter Parker. Because he marries Aunt May. Yeah. And he's wearing like the full Dr. Octopus outfit on while he's getting married.
And like, that's the worst part, because he's like obviously his mentor character in a lot of comics, and he's not only his mentor, but now he's like, I'm gonna really be your daddy now. It's like, no, or your uncle.
When promised limitless power by a mental avatar of the divine magic of the Yggdrasil, thanks God of War for helping me pronounce that word properly. Felicia nearly accepted when offered limitless riches and revenge against anyone who'd ever wronged her, but was outraged and disgusted when it was suggested she use her godhood to brainwash her former lovers into becoming her personal harem. Do you know what that is? That's a plot line written by a man. Yeah, that's like that one of like... Is. So that's the thing, the idea that she'd need to do that. When she looks like this 95% of the time.
That's the thing, isn't it? Does she need to brainwash any of them?
She gets Peter Parker to bang her, and Peter Parker's like the most like milk toast, I will just do the right thing motherfucker ever. And even he's still a bit like,
I could become a thief. Yeah,
I could do it.
It sounds like a good idea. I just imagine all she needs to do to have like a harem of ex-lovers is to just drop the booty call.
That's all you need to do.
So
do you remember that joke when we were playing like the Spider-Man PS4 game on my channel, and you made that joke of like when Peter Parker's hanging out with Mary Jane, Black Cat just send him nudes? Because you know it's the exact kind of thing she'd do. And Peter Parker's too nice a guy to say, cut that shit out.
I'm just waiting for her to pick up her phone and see like the nudes from Black Cat getting sent. It's like, wait, what's this, Peter?
He's like,
oh,
I'm
we're broken
single.
up now.
I'm a single man. I do what I want. You and as well, you know Black Cat do that. Black Cat is 100% the kind of woman she'd send you the tasteful nude just saying, what are you doing right now, when she knows you're at work.
But she'd stake him out.
Yeah.
Like, watch when she meets up with Spider-Man.
Yeah, wait for him to be checking his phone, send him the nude, and then watch his response. It's like, it's nothing. Because you know it's the exact kind of thing she'd
like,
do.
while he's getting stripped off into his Spider-Man outfit, she just sends the nude. Like, no.
Felicia's often ruthless vindictiveness can be shown by her swearing revenge on Spider-Man after the superior Spider-Man beat her to a pulp and left her for the police, disregarding Peter Parker's explanation that Otto Octavius has swapped minds with him. Which, admittedly, does sound like bullshit until you realise the previous paragraph I read was she was offered the power of godhood by the Yggdrasil. Is it really that far-fetched that someone swapped minds?
Every single time I hear about superior Spider-Man,
It's the dumbest shit ever.
superior in the title is he beat the shit out of somebody or punched a jaw off the lizard or something.
Basically, yeah.
And he's like, why is the quote-unquote superior Spider-Man I beat everyone to death?
Like that arc, like people say it's like one of the best arcs, and the only reason they say it's the best one is because when Spider-Man comes back and you have the moment where he tells a joke and people realise that's Spider-Man.
Right.
But like all it is just Otto Octavius being like Peter Parker's a moron because he doesn't use his like vast powers and intellect to become a billionaire. It's like we always could do that, but we want to do the right thing.
He wants to be the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
But they have like this like month-long arc where it's like Otto Octavius realising, wow, it's really difficult being a superhero. Yeah, no fucking shit. That's why no one does it.
Again, like the Black Cat could literally just lead him into a life of
and he won't.
Crime and just a happy, easy life with Black Cat of just we have infinite money and fun, and like Peter Parker refuses because he wants to be friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
That's not what he's about. So now we have her attributes and powers. So a power grid is like, pretty reasonable, except for like a strength, which apparently can be empowered. Doesn't say by what, but presumably she's like, she had a symbiote for a bit, and she's got like a super suit. So powers, psychokinesis. So Black Cat's original bad luck powers were imbued by scientists working for the Kingpin through a bargain made with him. They were removed by Doctor Strange. Afterwards, though, Felicia sought help from a supervillain scientist. She grafted cybernetic enhancements to Felicia's body, namely a quantum probability pulsator that causes bad luck. So her original powers were she caused bad luck in other people, Joe Black Cat. Bad luck.
Of course, yeah.
Doctor Strange took them away, and then writers realised now the character's boring. Let's bullshit a reason to give her back.
Literally just a person that's a cat burglar now.
Yeah.
It's like, what interesting things can we write about it? And again, many people will probably be familiar with like the movie Deadpool 2, where Domino is a character in that, and they're like, well, what good luck isn't a superpower.
It's like, it really is.
It's the best superpower.
Seriously, I don't get it. What, you shoot luck lasers out of your eyes? It's hard to picture, and certainly not very cinematic. I mean, luck? I mean, what coked out, glass pipe suckers came up with that little chestnut? Probably a guy who can't draw feet!
So, imagine that, but inflicted upon you in reverse, what everything is about to go wrong.
Well, that's basically what Domino's is, because the way her powers work is that she doesn't make her lucky, it makes other people around her unlucky. She takes away their luck, which is why people get injured the more she has to survive. But it says here that this power allows her to subliminally affect probability fields, which would cause improbable, though not impossible, events of bad luck to occur when enemies within her line of sight. As the Black Cat grew more ruthless, her bad luck powers became more effective. This power also affects magic, giving Felicia some protection against magical spells. And that's just the thing of like, it's such a bullshit power to give, and the fact they had to take it away, and then give her it back when they realised, no, that actually does make the Black Cat. Also, like the thematic thing of being a Black Cat, an avatar of a misfortune.
Mm-hmm. And you will, when you start paying attention to the fact that writers are in charge of comics and that it's not an actual thing, it's something we can manipulate. You notice a lot of the time that, for example, Superman's only interesting when you have something to take his power away, like kryptonite. Spider-Man's only interesting when you can take away his spider sense, because that's also broken. Like, there's always those things where you have to like weaken or give a character a certain twist the moment you take that twist away, it's boring, and you have to rewrite it in.
Or you've got to be a good writer to tell an interesting story about a character who's otherwise like overpowered. But we say here that the Puma's heightened sensors detected Black Cat had superpowers, a bad luck superpower. And he was more active when she was under attack, but failed to identify specific effects. So obviously, when you're under attack, you need people who have bad luck, so they'll miss and stuff like that. Oh, she also has claws. As part of her cybernetic enhancements, she possesses the ability to extend her nails into sharp claws, despite wearing gloves that also do that. So she can have double sharp claws.
Also, that reminded me of you saying like a person always misses their shots. Is like, have you heard that thing where like a Jedi power?
Yeah, because
avoiding all shots because like they wanted to make an excuse for the stormtroopers.
Never forget that there is like an actual legitimate genuine mistake in, I think it's the third Star Wars movie, where Mark Hamill was supposed to throw a kick and the extra just moves backwards as if he was kicked.
So
and
they said it was a force kick.
No, you can see there's literally like 1.5 feet of space because they fucked it up when they left it in the film. And they had to bullshit an explanation, said he used the force to kick the guy. Because they realised, oh man, this looks really fucking bad.
But yeah, I love the idea that it's... No, the Jedi have a special power where the stormtroopers aren't inaccurate.
Lucas, only stormtroopers are this accurate.
The Jedi make it so that they have like a force field of probability around them so it always misses. But like, why does Han never get shot then?
Yeah. Well, then Lucas has got force powers as well. So
or Chewie. Well, I wouldn't doubt that Chewbacca's like the most powerful force user. He chooses to live about his day.
You just can't hear what he's saying, can you? So after her original powers were removed by Doctor Strange, a side effect of the process was that she turned into a furry. That's not what he says, but he says she grew feline abilities and a visual aesthetic.
Oh, so she actually turned cat-like.
She turned into a cat, yeah. However, after being exposed to a device designed by the Chameleon to remove Spider-Man's powers, she lost these abilities as well. And that's the thing, you don't need to give her the feline abilities, because like the whole reason she called the Black Cat, she's a cat burglar, and she replicates those powers through her own skill.
Yeah, she's not Catwoman, she's a cat burglar, not like a cat.
But I do like the probability manipulation one is a fun one, because, Black Cat being unlucky and stuff. And then we have abilities. Expert Thief. She is a skilled and somewhat reformed thief, skilled in stealth, picking lots, escapology, evading alarms, and cracking safes. So like every character I make in Skyrim. Do you think like, oh, I'm going to make like a two-handed heavy armor wearing orc, and then just at some point you realise that just being wearing light armor, stealth, and archery are the only ways to go.
You're like, I'm going to go full barbarian mode for this playthrough, and then 5 hours later you've got like all your investment in the sneak dagger skill, and you're like, wait, what?
Because he's just so much more effective. Skilled martial artist. She has been trained in several martial arts, notably Okinawa Gojo Ryu Karate and Judo, which she specialises in. Felicia is capable of taking on several armed assailants and incapacitating without being injured herself. Her strength, and when being pushed too far, ferocity in battle has proven to be overwhelming enough to defeat the mutant assassin known as Sabretooth. Fuck off.
How about a little taste of adamantium? For old time's sake.
Sabretooth has adamantium in his bones. Not as much as Wolverine.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, he has it in his claws.
Oh, I never knew Sabretooth had any adamantium. Like, I obviously know that Wolverine and him go, like, fist to fist a lot of the time.
It's like, you are not beating fucking Sabretooth in fist. I don't care how much you run and lift, you're not beating, like, a wild animal.
But to be fair, all she needs is, like, stand near a cliff, and when Sabretooth jumps, he misses and just flies off a cliff.
Olympic level athlete. She has the reflexes, agility, and stamina of an Olympic level acrobat and is capable of many exceptional feats. She is physically very strong and has great physical endurance. Not enough to beat Sabretooth, surely. So that's mean he's a wild animal in like man form.
With unbelievable strength and tracking skills and stuff like that, yeah.
Maybe just like Sabretooth one especially kicked him really hard in the dick.
She's like one of those people that's like, I could have a fight with a bear. I could take a bear.
Probably,
like, that's essentially what that's happening right there. Is like, that's the equivalent of when a dude just thinks he can fist fight a grizzly bear.
Yeah, so I don't think that's what apparently she did in one comic. And that's what's the old like Stan Lee thing that he'd always say. So who would win in a fight between this character and this character? Say whoever the writer wants to win. And clearly the writer wanted Black Cat to win that one. So
Yeah.
And then her weakness is proximity to other probability manipulators. So her powers malfunction when near other people with the ability to affect probability, presumably like to a stronger degree. Unless like they cancel each other out and they both have bad luck.
If like Domino for example, like do they both just not have like Domino getting bad luck on top of her taking away the
cancel
bad
it
luck,
out,
like,
or
do they just cancel each other?
Or do they both just trip over and like break their neck at the same time? And then equipment, the Black Cat costume. The costume she currently wears was designed by the Tinkerer. Created using leather material, is designed to increase many physical attributes. Really? Leather? We talked about Skyrim earlier. Is it enchanted or something? You don't think of leather as in... If I think of anything that's going to limit movement, it's a tight leather costume.
Also, don't think of it being sneaky, like when she's like crawling along catwalks and just squeaking along.
You see, they're very tight. Maybe there's something in that area.
It can't be as bad as like the Halle Berry one that's made out of fucking like plastic pleather in it. But it says it has micro serves embedded into it. But I still don't think that's going to help, like leather. Because that's the thing, that costume is skin tight. There's no fucking way like you are not hearing her move around. Like, I don't think you could do a backflip wearing leather trousers.
No, like I always thought, and it always kind of looked to me in the adaptations I've seen of like fabric with sometimes having like the the cuffs and stuff like that.
Like Black Widow's costume.
Well, I was thinking like the furry cuffs.
Oh yeah, sorry. I mean like Black Widow's costume, like it's skin tight, but it's clearly a material like Kevlar or something.
Yeah.
Apparently it's just made out of leather, and it also increases her physical strength beyond the natural limits of a woman, her weight and physical build. Which is presumably how the bullshit explanation for how she beat Sabretooth.
Like, what is it made out of? Because like
leather.
But there's no room in that outfit. There's no like.
There's no room. There's barely enough room for her in that outfit, let alone any extra bullshit. But
like, what is it in there that's enhancing anything?
Do you know what?
It's just like some like skin tight leather.
It says here superhuman speed. Her speed is similarly enhanced, though to levels that are beyond the capabilities of the finest athlete. Over short distances, she can sprint at 40 miles per hour.
Oh.
Imagine like when she's waiting for a taxi.
That's a fast car.
That is fast. 40 miles an hour.
That is literally faster than you can travel in New York.
Yeah. For context, that's twice as fast as Usain Bolt can run. I think Usain Bolt's top speed like 23 miles an hour.
9 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, for probably 5 of those 9 seconds.
It says over short distances, but how short's a short distance in New York? So, superhuman agility. The costume she wears also possesses various implants. Without these implants, she does have the agility of an Olympic-level gymnast. However, with them, they augment her natural agility to even greater levels. Like, what is in this outfit? Like I said, it's just leather. Retractable claws. The gloves of the Black Cat's costume contain steel microfilament that form retractable claws at the tip of each finger.
So that, I get, there's enough room for like a tiny little bit in your glove for some retractable claws, but like, where are these machines that are enhancing her strength and speed and agility?
You're not ready for this one. Equilibrium earrings. She wears earrings obtained by the Tinkerer that interact with the balance centers of her brain to give her natural bodily equilibrium in any situation. Do you know what Spider-Man has like perfect natural equilibrium at all times?
So is that their bullshit for like why she always lands like a cat, basically?
Maybe. And then electromagnetic contact lenses. She wears contact lenses obtained by the Tinkerer that allow her to see in various ranges of the electromagnetic spectrum. Felicia's eyes appear to have blue irises opposed to the green irises that she naturally possesses.
And all this bullshit where it's like, you know, it's similar to that argument where people have in the MCU films of like, I don't like the fact that Spider-Man is being enhanced by Iron Man and his capabilities. It's like, I much prefer the idea of just, she's a cat burglar that puts bad luck on people and has good like agility and stuff like.
If she stole shit. If she stole like Taskmasters, where Taskmasters just steal shit.
Just like, oh, the Tinkerer gave me a bunch of bullshit and now I'm powered up. Like.
And then transportation, a grappling hook. She has a miniature grappling hook hidden in the fur of each glove designed by her father, which enables her to swing from buildings in a manner similar to Spider-Man. Despite lacking the associated speed of either, she can also use it as a cable, the cable from the device as a tightrope, a wall scaling device, swing line, or as a weapon in combat.
It's very versatile.
And then we have here some notes and trivia. Oh.
No,
this is...
No.
Oh, you read
Don't make that noise.
No, this one's pretty... Okay, the first one's pretty good. Black Cat appeared in a limited series called Marvel Divas, a parody of Sex and the City. that I'd watch. That shit I'd watch, but it's this one. Felicia was educated in a Catholic school, which means they did that so they can draw her in the Catholic schoolgirl outfit.
Yeah.
Felicia tells people she's allergic to mushroom, even though she's not, because she thinks mushroom are gross. Except for truffles, because they're classy.
Wait, are truffles classed under mushrooms?
I think they're a fungus, aren't they?
All right.
Black Cat's ringtone is Temptation by New Order.
But going back to that Divas thing.
That sounds pretty... You know what? I'd watch that show.
If they span off She-Hulk into, like, a New York Divas Marvel show, like,
Why is it not single female lawyer?
I mean, it wasn't far off.
We were close.
To be fair.
Like, her friend in that show, I'm like, that friend that she's got, I want her to get her own show.
And who was the one that ended up, like, partying with Wong?
Yeah, oh man, 'cause I got so annoyed by her at first until they kept bringing her back. Like, you know what, I like this.
Like, the joke went so hard that it rubs off on you
It goes all the way around. Or a mate who's like, you think he's going to be that dickhead character.
Yeah, he comes across in the first episode as like that skeezy dude, and then, like, oh no, he's actually like really cool and respectful. Like, yeah.
This guy rules, all right? You heard it from me first. He rules, and he's hot. That's
This is a great interview with like the person who wrote it, I think, where he said, yeah, this character in the comics, like, he's a bit of a doofus, and we wanted to like change him to make him just real ride or die motherfucker who's just there for his girlfriends. It's him and his gal pals, and he's just like, he's just gonna be there for him.
I know. I think we've mentioned this in the past, but I was waiting for that character to have that turn of like, he becomes like the weirdo douchebag guy, and it's like, no, he's genuinely like a nice character.
And they do have the character who does that, and like he gets his comeuppance, and like She-Hulk like calls him out, and you can, Joe, why that's the case, because that show was written by a woman.
And yeah, I would love if it was like She-Hulk and a friend, and then like
I would watch
Wong. If Wong wants to bring along
Phase Wong.
I can't remember the name, but like Wong and the woman character, the joke character. But like if it was those four plus like Black Cat. Oh man, that'd be a good time.
How much did it crack you up? Or how much did it crack you up as well? The guy who plays Wong is called Benedict Wong.
Oh yeah, because it was Wong for Wong, wasn't it?
He's Wong, but then like he's co-starring with Benedict Cumberbatch.
Like, one of his friends told him about the role of Wong, and then he started the campaign to Marvel of like Wong for Wong. But yeah, it's Benedict Wong and Benedict Cumberbatch, where one of the Wong's character is Wong, and it's like, oh my god.
They've got that great like joint interview they do as well. It's like, how do you tell the difference between us? We're both Benedicts, and like, we are very similar. And they just look each other in the face, and they like stone face as they say it, and it's like, yeah.
Often Benedicts and I both get asked, does it ever get confusing having the same name as your co-star Benedict? The truth is, there is no one else I'd rather share that name with.
That's why he made it. That's why he keeps coming back.
I love that energy.
Perfect.